The National Archives today made public thousands of secret files on the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy, but stopped short of releasing its entire stash of sealed or censored documents.
Experts say the documents could reveal more of what the FBI and the CIA knew about shooter Lee Harvey Oswald and when. Seth Lemon reports now from Washington.
Almost 54 years after President Kennedy's assassination, nearly 3,000 previously secret documents surrounding the investigation into his murder are being made public.
These are government reports written for other government officials.
Phil Sheenon wrote a New York Times bestseller about the Kennedy assassination and does not expect any bombshells, but he hopes the material will shed light on a trip the shooter, Lee Harvey Oswald, took to Mexico City weeks before the assassination.
The question in the back of my mind has always been, didn't the CIA know much more about what was going on with Oswald in Mexico City? Didn't they suspect that he was a much bigger threat? And why didn't they warn Washington of that at the time?
The National Archives here in Washington is responsible for releasing the information, but experts say it could take days, if not weeks, to make sense of it all. Oswald was shot and killed by Jack Ruby while in police custody, giving rise to conspiracy theories about the Kennedy assassination. In 1964, the Warren Commission reported that Oswald acted as a lone wolf, but that finding did little to put the matter to rest. Some say releasing these files is a step in the right direction.
Here's a useful moment where the government can try to show real transparency about a turning point in American history. Finally, it could try to make amends for all the lies and the duplicity and the cover-ups of the 1960s.
But it's possible the documents could raise more questions than they answer. Seth Lemon, CBS News, Washington.
We heard in that piece from best-selling author Phil Sheenon, who has written extensively about the JFK assassination and believes that these files could shine new light on the government's investigation into the killing that stunned America and shocked the world. Sheenon calls the murder of John F. Kennedy the end of the innocence of America. He says it's a turning point in the relationship between U.S. citizens and the government.
Well, I don't think people should be looking for some bombshell. There won't be a document pointing to a second gunman in Dealey Plaza. But I think there's going to be a lot of important and maybe really surprising information about how much more the government really knew about Lee Harvey Oswald before the assassination. I've certainly been struck by how people were stunned and appalled by the Kennedy assassination, and how in the years that followed, this was really the event that caused them to lose confidence that their government would ever tell them the truth. And you know, in the years that followed, the Vietnam War, Watergate, the cynicism has just grown, and I think you can link a lot of that back to the Kennedy assassination.
And as for the thousands of documents that have yet to be released, the CIA today said it is working to redact information that would harm national security and reveal specific intelligence methods.